If you would have asked me what the most popular creative cards were prior to me actually making this series where I look at them, I probably would have answered Blue Eyes or Dark Magician. Well, I was wrong. The most popular creative cards that I've found are all Cyber Dragon cards. Now, I'll throw this one up on the screen here, Cyber Virus Dragon. I don't know why Cyber Dragon cards are so popular as far as casuals go. I mean, that's people who are making these creative cards. But man, they are fucking popular and they're not going away anytime soon. I'd like to thank all of you guys actually for this particular video because all of the cards I'm going to be looking at are actually cards that I was tagged into that were found on various Facebook groups. So I do appreciate my subs looking out for me, pointing me in the direction of some really funny creative cards. And anyway, let's start reviewing them. So Cyber Virus Dragon is a generic level 7 Synchro, which if you look at the complaints on the post that this card was taken from, most of them are about the fact that it's generic, but its effect is all monsters your opponent controls become machine type. Once per turn, if you do not control a Cyber Dragon monster, you can target any number of Cyber Dragon in your graveyard, special summon it. So ignoring all the tense issues there, you can see that this is setting up, just if you can summon this card, it is immediately setting up a whole field wipe for a Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon. And you don't even need a Cyber Dragon on the field because you can just summon this thing. All of your opponent's monsters go to machine type, and then you can revive a Cyber Dragon from grave and get rid of all of them. Pretty crazy. Anyway, once per turn, during your opponent's turn, you can target one Cyber Dragon monster you control, equip it with one Union monster from your graveyard. Now that's basically irrelevant. All of the machine type Union monsters are noticeably bad. I mean, you could play like Oil Man, I guess. You could play, I think it's like Heavy Mech Machine Platform or something with a ridiculous name that has a lot of adjectives. So that effect doesn't matter. But the important thing is that this is a generic level 7 Synchro with 3000 defense, and it can just set up a Chimera Tech every turn for free. And that's not even considering like how good this would be in an actual Cyber Dragon deck where you could special summon like 4 Cyber Dragons from your grave. Well, I'll just take into account, let's say you're just splashing it into a deck with Cyber Dragons, and you can make level 7 Synchros. But the artwork is not as lazy as I would have expected. It does look like, because I'm pretty sure, Cyber Dragon Infinity, sorry, I'm like blanking here. Pretty sure Cyber Dragon Infinity doesn't have the lightnings in the background, so at least this guy like made a different background, changed the color, but I never understood the whole making a card with an artwork that is on the previous card that already came out. It seems kind of silly to me and lazy. But anyway, that was Cyber Virus Dragon. And yeah, we'll probably have a Cyber Dragon card every single freaking custom card review that we do because people love them. Anyway, we will look at a Blue Eyes card. So this is, well, I guess it's not technically a Blue Eyes card, but Dragon of the Heavens. It's a level 10 Light Dragon, and it requires 1 Light Tuner plus 1 or more non-tuner monsters, so it's slightly non-generic, but realistically, you're only bringing this out with Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon for free, which is pretty ridiculous when we look at its effect. So once per turn, during either player's turn, you can discard any number of cards from your hand to banish the same amount of cards on the field. So it's a straight upgrade of Brionic, except it also can be used on your opponent's turn. Yeah, that's pretty good. It's pretty fucking good. Especially because it's attached to a 3500 body. And then its other effect is when this card leaves the field, special summon 1 Blue Eyes monster from your hand, deck, and or graveyard, ignoring their summoning conditions. Now, sure, there are some silly combos with this, and you could do stuff like banish your opponent's entire field, and then during the end phase when this thing blows up from Spirit Dragon, you could, I don't know, special summon crazy from your deck. But more importantly, you can actually just bring back the Spirit Dragon that you used to summon this in the first place, and then tribute Spirit Dragon again on the following turn. Like that's, so you can just like loop this and Spirit Dragon just over and over and over again. And this card's pretty silly. I think most of the comments on the posts that this one came from were saying, holy fuck, why is this so overpowered? And for good reason. I mean, it's a straight upgraded Brionic that banishes their entire field that doesn't target. That you can bring out with Spirit Dragon and then bring back Spirit Dragon when it dies. It's like way too overpowered. Anyway, we'll look at a funnier one here. I'm going to show the text first because I actually, if I show you the image, you won't be able to focus on what I'm saying with the text. But the text is, Fusion summon 1 Ghost Knight monster by sending one of the following from your deck to the graveyard. 1 Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit plus 2 light monsters. 1 Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries plus 2 dark monsters. Or 1 Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring plus 2 fire monsters. He didn't attach a Ghost Knight fusion monster, so I can't tell you what that would do. But what I thought was funny about this card, beyond the fact that this would actually just be ridiculous. I mean, can you imagine if there's like a Gem Knight that could send dark monsters instead of... I mean, Seraphonite saying light is already too good, but this one can send 2 light, 2 dark, and 2 fire. Like, it doesn't even matter what the fusion does as long... I mean, you're sending 2 light monsters to the graveyard. But I thought the funny thing was that it lists the fusion material. Like, can you imagine if Brilliant Fusion said... or listed every single possible combination of Gem Knight fusion materials like that? There wouldn't be enough space on the card, so you'd never put. And I understand why he had to do this. He had to do it because he didn't put the Ghost Knight fusion monster, and I don't even know how that would work. But listing all the fusion materials is hilarious. Anyway, let me show you the artwork because, I mean, you guys can see it there. It's beautiful. That's all I have to say. It's gorgeous. It's the best artwork I've ever seen. So what's funny about this artwork is not the fact that it has all 3 of the monsters listed on the fusion material of the mystery fusion card. That's not the funny part. I mean, it's funny that they're smushed. What's funny is that Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring still has its anime attack and defense on there for some reason, which I don't understand how that could even happen by accident. I really don't. How can you accidentally leave that shit on there? Like, it's so ugly. Why would you leave that on? It's so... Look, this is the dumbest artwork of all the custom cards I've found. And I've looked at a lot of My Little Pony card artworks on that. If you Google fucking Yu-Gi-Oh! Custom cards, a lot of My Little Pony ones show up for some reason. But this is actually just, like, next level shit. And I every time I see it, it makes me laugh. It's so stupid looking. Why would you... Like, this guy uploaded this on a public forum on Zodiac. And it's like... Who thought this was a good idea? Who approved this? Not me. Anyway, the next couple, I'm actually going to show a couple of them because this guy made like, I don't know, somebody started like a wave of custom card archetypes in Zodiac, and people are just posting like 12 plus cards for their own archetypes. It's crazy. Anyway, I only want to show you a couple because this is really funny. So this guy made a bunch of Spider-Man cards. We can see here we have Peter Parker, and it's a human because why can't you just make it a warrior? Who cares? Anyway, so its parentheses text is this card is always treated as a Spider-Man card with the M lowercase, and then its text is you contribute this card to special summon 1 Spider-Man, now with the M capitalized, from your deck in face of attack position. You can only activate the effect of Peter Parker once per turn. So that's not that funny in itself, but when you go on to the next card, which is Spider-Man, notice that now Spider-Man is spelled with a dash in between the spider and the man, and the M is now lowercase again. And this one is a web slinger because fuck, why do people love making new types? Anyway, its effect is when this card is normal summoned or special summoned by the effects of a Spider-Man. I'm sorry, I shouldn't make fun of him for forgetting the I, but... Holy shit, man. Card, you can add 1 Spider-Man monster from your deck to your hand. You can only use this effect of Spider-Man once per turn. So at least it was fairly consistent besides that I. And then if we go to the next card, Scarlet Spider, which this card is always treated as a Spider-Man card. Now this time, even though it has the same exact parentheses text as Peter Parker, the Spider-Man is now all lowercase with the dash in between, where Peter Parker has had neither of those things. Its effect is, when this card is normal summon or special summon, I guess, by the effect of a Spider-Man, because oh my god, he couldn't even, did he not proofread any of these? Like, a Spider-Man. Card, you can special summon 1 Spider-Man monster from your graveyard. It cannot attack this turn. You can only use this effect of Scarlet Spider once per turn. So in this one card alone, you have 3 different ways to write Spider-Man. Like, that's going to cause some ruling issues if I ever saw them. But, I mean, the rest of the cards here, I don't even need to show them, but all of them I'm looking through here, they all pretty much spell Spider-Man differently, and it's like, how can you not just, like, make the simplest thing, how can you not get it correct? It's just ridiculous. Stop making shitty create a card archetypes. No one wants to read them. There was like one good one in Zodiac that I saw, and maybe I'll review that sometime, but these were just so bad. But once again, thank you so much for tagging me in them. I really do appreciate it. I do try to include them in these future videos if they're funny enough. And anyway, I will see you guys later. Bye.